Dr. Harley Willard wrote a great book about how to build relationships. And he uses a method called the love bank. So I want to explain it to you the best I can for young couples who are starting relationships that are extremely important to maintain and to grow. The love bank. Inside all of us is a love bank with accounts in the names of everyone we know. When these people are associated with our good feelings, love units are deposited into their accounts. And when they're associated with bad feelings, love units are withdrawn. We are emotionally attracted to people with positive balances and repulsed by those who have negative balances. This is the way our emotions encourage us to be with people who seem to treat us well and avoid those who seem to hurt us. The emotional reactions we have towards people, whether attraction or repulsion, is not a matter of choice. Love bank balances cause them. Try choosing to be attracted to those who associate with some of your worst experiences. It's almost impossible. Or try to feel repulsed by those associated with your best feelings. You do not decide whom you will like or dislike. It's their association with your feelings. Whether they have made love bank deposits or withdrawals that determine your emotional reaction to them. We like those positive love bank balances and dislike those with negative balances. But if an account reaches a certain threshold, a very special emotional reaction is triggered. Romantic love. We are no longer simply liking that person. We are in love. It's a feeling of incredible attraction to someone who you know. The feeling of love is the way our emotions encourage us to spend a little more time with that person. And they are effective at making us very happy and know how to avoid making us upset. We would certainly want to spend time with someone who we liked, but by giving us the feeling that we call love, our emotions get that added motivation. We find ourselves not only wanting to be with that person, but also craving that person. When we are together, we feel fulfilled. When the feelings of love are usually affected, not only in drawing people together for significant amounts of time, but also encouraging them to spend their entire lives together in what we like to call a marriage. But our emotions give us more than the feelings of love. When they identify someone who's making us happy, they also motivate us to reciprocate by encouraging us to make that person happy as well. They do this by making it seem almost effortless to do what makes most of us the happiest. Have you ever noticed that when you are in love, you seem instinctively affectionate, conversant, admiring, and willing to make love? That's because your emotions want to keep that person around. So, if it gives you instinct to help you make that person happy, which is effective, triggers his or her feelings of love for you in return. The look of love is not only communication of our feelings of love for someone, but it also reflects our instinct to do whatever it takes to make that person happy. When a man and a woman are both in love with someone, their emotions encourage them to make each other happy for life. In fact, the thought of spending life apart is usually frightening. It seems to them that they were made to be together for eternity. In almost every case, a man or woman marry because they are in love. And they are in love because their love balances are above the romantic love threshold. But what goes up can usually come down. Love bank balances are no exception. As most married couples have discovered, the feeling of romantic love is much more fragile than originally thought. And if love bank balances drop below the romantic love threshold, a couple not only loses their feelings of passion for each other, but they lose their instinct to make each other happy. What was once effortless has now become awkward and even repulsive. Instead of the look of love, couples have the look of apathy. And without love, a husband and a wife or partner no longer want to spend their lives together. Instead, they start thinking of divorce, or at least living their lives apart from one another. It should be obvious to you by now that the love bank is an extremely important concept of marriage and relationships. If you want your instinct and emotions to support your relationship, you must keep your love bank accounts over the romantic love threshold for marriage. But now, how can you keep your balances that high? And what can you do if they've already fallen below that threshold? I've worked long and hard to find answers to those questions because they hold the key to saving marriages. Without love, spouses are poorly motivated and remain married for life. But with the restoration of love and its accompanying instinct to spend life together, the threat of divorce is overcome. Marriages are saved when love is restored. All of my remaining basic concepts will help me explain the answers to those questions. But the general principle is simple. If a couple wants to have a happy and fulfilling marriage, they must make as many love bank deposits as possible and avoid making those withdrawals. To achieve this, behavior must change. A husband and partner or wife and partner must learn to make each other happy and how to stop making each other unhappy. The next concept will help you understand why you behave the way that you do and what you can do to change your behavior.